Hey guys, I had a banana fall down last night. There was no wind. I don't know what the heck happened, but this is something that happens. Sometimes it's from calcium deficiencies in the soil. That's really common in Hawaii, they say. But this one, I don't know. It is on a Bluggoe or a ice cream banana, blue banana, and they do look blue, when they're young. You'll see. But and they have a tendency to lean. They want to go out at 45-degree angles, and then as the rack gets bigger and bigger, it'll even sometimes rest on its own peduncle and nearly pull itself out of the ground. So don't panic. They're just a common tree that you want to go in, usually with 2 stakes, not just one, because it'll fall to the sides. But you go in with 2 stakes with forks at the end, or sometimes even just fork it right into the banana sheath itself, and get that thing staked up if that rack's getting too big so it doesn't pull itself over. But this one broke, I don't know why. So I thought I would go ahead and take it. I'm going to pull what bananas can be usable off of it, maybe, likely. They look kind of plump. Sometimes they're just too young to even waste your time with, but most bananas have some starch content. So we're going to take the ones that are big enough to use. We're going to boil them and then cook them up like hash brown style, because that's a way I found in the past that helps the banana become more palatable. You're not so much concentrating on chunks, as it's already kind of been, of course, processed for you. So anyway, we're going to go through that process step by step here, but first of all, I want to take them down. Yeah, so we got a pretty, God, it was real close too. We probably had 2 more months to go, but here, I'll show you. We have very rounded out, right? If they look like this, screw it. You're probably not going to get much out. So, I mean, if you're starving, you'll get a food out of it, but, it'll be disappointing to say the least. These are a bit more round. So likelihood is, just left to their own, that they probably will turn yellow, and that yellow banana will be palatable. And if you didn't know the wiser, you'd think, well, it's all right, whatever, it's a banana. These would have gotten a lot better, of course, if they'd ripened on the rack. And when they do, they tend to ripen from the center, not the top. So you'll see 1 or 2 in the center will turn, and then they'll kind of ripen out from there. But anyway, we're going to pull some of the ones on top, because the ones on top do tend to be more mature because they're the oldest flowers. And we're going to cook these off in a pot, a separate pot, one actually that I use normally for doing beeswax in, because the latex in the banana skins, because you want to cook these things in your skins. Don't bother trying to cut them all up raw. You're just going to make a mess of your hands and a mess of your knife, because there's so much latex in there. But if we cook them whole, a lot of that latex is going to end up floating on the top of the skim and collecting in a ring around the pan. And you want to ever really get that off without some kind of industrial solvent, So just get a thrift store pan specifically for boiling your bananas, and, throw it down in the basement when you're done. So anyway, yeah, next I'll show you how we cook them. Alright, so I got the bananas in my wax pot. That's why the sides are all covered in propolis, so I don't really care about the banana latex getting all over the side of them. They're already kind of sticky to the touch. And I'm just going to go ahead and boil these up. I'm probably going to use like a cast iron to put it on top of the lid, so I'm not getting anything stuck to the top. It's a nice, nice lid I want to use later. Because it will come up on the bubbles if it bubbles that much. But you do want to kind of turn these around or make sure that they get fully submerged, or they won't cook as well. But I just cook these now till the skin splits, and then I'll go ahead and stop, peel the skin off, and work with the meat on the inside. But I highly suggest, use a junk pot and get them all cooked up like this. So, yeah. So this is what I mean by split. Oop, fogged up. you can see how this guy's opened up. These ones are cracking down here. That's what you're looking for. Just let them split and then turn them off and dump your water off so you don't overcook them. All right, so I'm actually the next day, believe it or not, being lazy about it. But see, now the skin just rolls right off, and that's what you want right there. So I'm just going to go through and pop all these out. They pop right out. If anything green like that stays behind, then come in with the back of the knife and take that off. But that's the starch you want right there. And see how they all kind of got their little, they all crack when they're ready. And they're cooked on the inside. And what this does, when you're cooking green banana, you really want to boil them in the skin first. You don't really want to approach it in many other methods, because you're going to wind up with a very squeaky, dry, styrofoamy, overly starchy banana that, you know, as your home fry, and it's just, that's not good. It's just like unpleasant, in my opinion, to eat. I don't like a dry, starchy banana. It's squeaky, and you gotta, you know, chase it with a swig of coffee just to get your hash browns down. No. These are much more soft, you know, much more supple. And when we shave them up into hash browns, the idea is that you barely know that they're not potatoes, right? If you could fool a Midwesterner with some banana hash browns, then you've done a good job. And now keep in mind, all banana varieties are going to be very different as far as starch content goes, and what kind of potato you're going to get, how young or green you can eat certain bananas. These Bluggoes are a white fleshed banana when they're ripe, and they're very kind of just plain sweet. They don't have much of a banana aroma or flavor. They would be an excellent banana for vinegar or alcohol for that reason, because they're not going to carry any flavor across. They're just plain sweet. And so I actually don't really enjoy eating these ripe. I like them better green ripe. Usually would be when you get your first ripe banana on the rack, and then you cook the other green ones just like I've done here, process them the same way, and you get a excellent potato. I mean, perfectly fine. But as I said, with these are young, and so this is what you're going to get if you got to salvage that rack that fell over in a windstorm or whatever, and still get something out of them. So there we go, a nice bowl of starch, and we're going to go shred it up with the cheese grater. Well, so just basic, as simple as it gets. Cheese grating, a little monotonous, but of course if you had something electric, use your electric. I like manual. It's that easy. You know, a nice grade, and who cares about the little chunks that turn into like home fry. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and do that to the rest of them. All right, one whole bowl. Look at that. That's like, you get that for maybe a whole 5-pound bag of potatoes. You'd be able to fill a bowl like this. So, yeah, not bad. All right, so I got them all hashed up. I got about a half cup of coconut oil in here. Maybe a third of a cup, somewhere in that department. You want a lot. It's going to soak up. Yeah, it does every time. I'll probably want to add more before I'm done. And I like to get it kind of hot before I add them. It doesn't just soak it up right off the bat. It kind of fries on. This is almost more than I can fit in the pan. Probably want to go a little less, but I'm kind of in a rush to get this stuff cooked, so I'm going to go ahead and do all this at once and make a big pile of it. Actually, no, maybe not. I gotta be more patient. Hash browns really don't like to get smeared around. You know, proper hash browns, you really want to kind of let them sit and brown and flip like a pancake. So we'll give this some space. I'll just do 2 batches and make it easier on myself. So yeah, there you go. I just have that. Still got a full pan. Unreal. It's so much. And a little bit. And I got some Hawaiian sea salt. The actual out of the ocean, dried in the sun kind of sea salt, not the stuff you buy at the store. So it's a much lighter salt on the tongue. It's actually kind of pleasant to eat. And I got some black pepper. There you go, a little salt and black pepper. Alright, let that brown for a moment and then we'll flip them. Alright. I like to kind of try and flip them right into it. Just starting to brown. That's about it. Just enough to start flipping. Nothing burns. Okay, so they browned up pretty good. Coming in kind of a crumble. And I am going to add some eggs that are not farm fresh, but they're eggs. I don't have chickens yet because I just don't have the time for them, but it's getting close. We're getting real close to getting chickens, I think. The dog needs to learn to not kill them. We have a lot of wild chicken here, so she loves to chase chooks. We call them chickens. Loves to chase the chickens. And then I'm going to add a little grated cheese, because it's just what I happen to have on hand, and I'm an opportunist eater. But it makes it all more better. Okay. And then I did make some tortillas the other night, so I threw a couple of homemade tortillas on top when these eggs are about done here. And warm them up. And give those guys maybe a little spray of Brags. Yeah. As they start to settle up, put the tortillas on, and then just wrap them all up however you like.